Um, what is the weather like there, Mark?
Weather-wise, it's very nice now. Uh, Perfect. This is what I like, not hot.
So was I right? Are they going to play at least some games from the World Cup um, cricket in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, or not? Are they all in?
No, the final is going to be in Dubai. So it's going to be on the 9th in Dubai. In Dhaka, it's going to be a different tournament, a different. I think it's a Tri-Nation or some other game.
So the ninth, that's coming up. That's soon.
Right.
And who's it looking like is going to be, are going to be the finalists?
Uh, India is in final. India and I think New Zealand is in the final.
Okay.
Yep.
And would those have been two of the favorites? I'm assuming India would have been. Would New Zealand have also?
Yeah, it's a high scoring, high energy team this year. So it's going to be a tough one.
Um, and who is the defending champion? India.
Yes. Yep.
And we must have talked about it the last. So is it like World Cup soccer, or it's every 4 years?
World Cup is, I believe, every 5 years. Uh,
5 years.
yes. But this is the Champions Cup, so this is not like the World Cup.
Oh,
This
this
is
isn't worse. So this isn't as big as World Cup.
right. This is not as big. This is like a tiny version of World Cup.
Okay. And does the UAE have a team?
UAE, no. Uh, I know that Kuwait, they have a team. I believe only one Middle East country play cricket. So either it's uh, Oman or Qatar, one of these countries.
And for everybody else's benefit, because a lot of Americans wouldn't know this, Dubai is in UAE. So that's
Yeah,
Dubai is one of the two major cities, Abu Dhabi being the second one. There are,
right.
and both on the coast of Dubai, excuse me, of UAE. And Dubai is the more modern city, more newer. I mean, it literally got built from nothing not that long ago. And the reason I ask is, the World Cup soccer tournament was hosted in the most recent version in Qatar. And
Yes,
Qatar, I doubt if unless they were going to be the hosting country would ever have qualified for the World Cup soccer tournament because I don't think soccer is that big of a sport
yeah.
in
They
Qatar. So
yeah, they qualified because they were the host. Otherwise,
right,
they don't. Yeah,
right,
they wouldn't qualify.
right. The stadium in Qatar is amazing. I did get to see that. I was over there actually right as they began working on it. And anyway, and then I would bet Dubai's is pretty nice. Um,
Yeah.
so here's one for everybody. And maybe Mark can look this up while we're talking here and put it, if you find it, put it on the screen, Mark. What do you think is maybe a stadium in UAE, what sport maybe has a stadium that seats more people, or at least as many as their big stadium for rugby would? What sport? Because I would assume that not rugby, cricket. I would assume that the cricket tournament could be played in the same stadium that a soccer game could be played in, or rugby, or American football even. But this sport would not be able to be in that kind of a stadium. You have a guess, Mark, or anybody in the audience have a guess?
Is it hockey?
No.
Okay.
Hockey wouldn't, a hockey arena would have to be just massive to seat more than probably that stadium for cricket. Um, and I might be wrong about its size, right? I've been there and it's huge, but I just think I'm going to be right about how big it is. It's camel racing.
Oh, never would have guessed it.
Yeah. So look that up, Mark. Do a Google search and then put it
Uh,
on the screen. Do a Google search and look for the Dubai Camel Racing Stadium and see how many people it seats. It'll probably tell us.
okay. So, um,
Camel racing is huge in UAE. And I think it's also very big um, in Saudi Arabia and possibly in some other countries. Here we go. Here we got some camels all set up, ready to race. There looks like we got the front of the club stadium.
let me look at the capacity.
Yeah, there should be capacity, I think. If you just look up
Yeah.
look up capacity.
Okay. So around 200 people.
It's the largest one in Dubai. How many? 200,000?
Let me see.
Oh, wait a minute. There's way more than 200 people. Come on.
Around 1,000 people. Okay. So both
What?
tracks, 1,000. And then it says,
That can't be right. It's way bigger than that.
uh, camel, it must be the, okay.
I would
Dubai,
bet that club does that. Just
right.
the
Just the
building.
club. Right.
Um,
Um, should I go to Wikipedia?
Maybe, yeah. Look up camel racing and see what it says there.
All right. Am I showing the right screen?
Yeah, you are. Yep, you're getting it.
Okay.
It's there.
All right.
It does have that. Well, it doesn't. It's gone now, but had that little block at the bottom of it. See how
Yeah.
fast they go? They go faster than horses. They fly. Look at 40 miles an hour, 65 kilometers an hour. That's something. Wait, look at that. Look, it does say 1,000 people, Mark. Go back up to that. Let's see what it's saying there.
Well, Dubai tracks have a maximum spectators of 1,000 people.
There's no way. I've actually been to one and it had just a big grandstand. I don't know what the name of it was, but um, it doesn't say. Huh. Anyway, um, they go fast. What's this Terra Festival that Alicia's talking about? It attracts 16 something. What about, put in and see how big their cricket stadium is, Mark. Do that search and see how, because this Champions Cup is being played there, the final.
Okay.
What do you think that Dhaka's main cricket stadium seats?
I would say maybe 5,000. It's pretty big.
It's not very big.
Yeah. Let me see. Capacity of cricket stadium in Dubai. So 25,000. Wow.
Okay.
All right, it's big. And this is like multi-storied also like
Oh, I
layers
bet.
of,
Yeah, is there a picture? Show it to us. I
yeah,
bet
yeah,
it is. Yeah.
here it is. So it's like,
Oh, wow. Yeah, isn't that nice? Ooh,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. And that's truly set up for cricket. That because it's
yes.
round and wow. So, Mark, tell us a little cricket rules because we don't know them,
Okay.
most of us watching.
All right. So
If they
cricket,
hit the ball any one of those directions and it goes over that fence and into the stands, that's a big deal, right? That's what you'd want to do if you possibly could, right?
right, if it goes flying, then it's a 6 run.
Okay.
And if it goes like bouncing, then
Yeah.
you know, then it's 4 runs. And there are two batters on each end of this. I hope you see
Oh,
this.
look. It was in Lahore was where the other. See that over on the right? The semis were in Lahore. Were
Yeah,
Ariba.
some they were in Lahore, yes,
Oh, okay,
where
cool.
Arib is at.
Yeah.
And like you can take single and double runs running between
Right.
wickets.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So
But
that's
how
how
many did you say one that bounces is how many runs for that? Four?
4 runs. Yes. If
Okay.
you, yeah, if you hit the boundary rolling, then it's 4 runs. If it goes
Okay.
flying, then it's 6 runs.
Okay.
Yep.
How often
And
does it happen that somebody hits it flying in a game? In a game?
maybe 6, 7 times it happens.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Now,
four runs
why does it look like straight ahead there? Like there's a whole bunch of people there, way at the in on the field.
on the field. Oh,
No, not those people. Those are probably
those
fielders,
are
right?
fielders. Yes.
No, straight ahead.
Here
There, yeah, that. What is that?
could be also fielders or maybe field crew.
Oh, okay. Well, they
Yeah,
wouldn't be
maybe the
out there. What they wouldn't be out there while they were playing, right?
right. This picture is taken when the game is not on.
Right. It'd be in
Yes,
between innings or something. In between.
right.
So Alicia just put up a pretty cool link that you ought to click on and take us to it because it
Okay.
says the 10 largest cricket stadiums in the world.
All right, let me share that.
What would
Okay.
you guess? The largest has got to be in India somewhere, right?
Yes, that's my guess. Melbourne Cricket Ground. Uh, and then Narendra Modi Stadium. This is in India. Eden Garden in India.
Okay.
Uh, it's the largest cricket stadiums in the world. So this is like the
The
three
three of them. Okay, so
three
let's see how big does it say how many they seat. That one in the middle looks huge. Well, so does they all three do.
right.
I bet they seat 100,000, one or more of them.
Yep. And one of them is in Australia, Melbourne. So
Probably lists down here how many they seat. There we
yes,
go.
yeah.
132,000 for that
Wow.
one in India.
This is number one.
Yeah.
And Melbourne is number two with 100,000.
Uh-huh.
Eden
A
Garden
lot bigger
68.
than Eden Gardens, number three. Wow.
Yeah. Right. Uh, and our stadium is not in the list. Surprise.
Yeah, a lot of people in that one there in the middle. So, do women play cricket?
Yeah, there is a team, uh, a national team for women. They
Good.
don't play leagues though. Nobody comes to leagues. It'll be vacant if they played.
Um, I'm assuming that means there aren't any like big name stars in Bangladesh that are women's cricket players then, just like there are men. You probably know all the stars that are men, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Well, what do we have in the chat for other topics from everybody? This is our Talk with Wayne session. And again, we always want to talk about some of the things you might want to talk about. Um, since we last talked, more has gone on with AI, everybody. Wow, the world is just amazing what new things are happening. I think this new system called Grok, Grok, has been around, but it only really got well known in the last couple of weeks. And what's different about it, and Mark can probably pull it up because he's probably got a version of it. I do on mine if he can't. Is it is up to date to the present. In other words, it's not taking its data from sources that are like ChatGPT, OpenAI takes its data from sources that are only as recent as October of 2024, unless it's changed in just the last week, as of a week ago. So this is this Grok, and Mark's showing it. And Grok 3 is what's out there. And I think they're already talking about Grok 3 point something, a new one. But let's put in something, somebody in the audience, put in a topic that there would be new information about from yesterday. And let's look at it and see. It's interesting. Look at what is it? What, I haven't seen this version. This is even new since I was on Grok, where it gives you the option. It looks to do either a deep search or a think. What does that mean, I wonder?
Uh, no, I never tried. I just, I just used deep search. Never used this. I don't know what this does.
Yeah. Huh.
And you have option to choose like Grok 3 or
It doesn't look like it's giving you any other, does it? Does
oh,
everyone
it
else?
doesn't. No, it doesn't give me the older version. Okay.
Let's do a search, Mark. Type in, give us a list of the top, and this does this all the time. Make sure he knows that he's human. That's weird. I thought you were already in. I guess it shows you that, and then it doesn't allow you to be fully
Yeah,
in.
I'm signing in. Might take a second. Okay. All right. So,
So let's put this search in. Give us a list of the top 20 environmental issues about which something happened or was reported on yesterday, and then put the date in afterwards for 3/5/25. And let's see what we get. Show thinking. That's interesting. The cool thing also about Grok is you don't have to tell it to give you sources. It'll do it. It's telling you the sources there. That's what those little icons in front of what these are.
yeah. So, yeah, here's the no Chat GPT does this now. It started to do this.
By the way, it hasn't given us 20 yet. It's still thinking. So it's
Yeah.
telling us, it's giving us where it's getting all its data. Don, Mark?
Let's see. See five more. Okay. Uh, These are all,
It looks like it's not listing them as by number, which I don't think it's done yet. It's not done. That's why it's still
yeah,
thinking, still working.
yeah. Clarifying the request, exploring, identifying, assessing.
I believe if you did this same search, well, you couldn't do this search in ChatGPT because it wouldn't do it current.
Yes.
I also don't think I've not been a great fan of Grok until just the last couple days. It is, I think, getting more information for you. It's looking at more sources. Look at this. It's still working. It's still
Yeah.
refining. Because I think it's going to give us a list. It's going to say what the 20 are.
Finalizing the list. So,
Well, I don't see a list. Look at how much. Oh, there we go. Well, maybe that's it.
yeah.
Detailed findings. Okay. So number one, it says China's renewable energy initiatives. They announced a package of major projects to tackle climate change. That's cool. Here we go. Number two, and that is happening in the US, that there are nominations for. So the US EPA doesn't just have a director, it has regions. There are 10 regions in the country. And each one of those um, region leaders, heads, is also a nominant. In other words, they have to be um, approved by the Senate, so they're nominated for that position um, by the White House, by President Trump. So doesn't look like it looks like they've just listed the name. We're going to drill down on that one in just a minute. See if it'll give us all the names. Okay, so number three is the U.S. withdrawal from the coal transition plan. That's pretty consistent with what this administration's doing. It's becoming less green, which is not necessarily a good thing. I'm trying to be very careful and not give a lot of opinion about this kind of stuff. The EU has a zero emission car path, so they reaffirm their commitment to zero emission cars by 2035. All right, that's cool. All right, so it gave us 4. It didn't give us 20 yet, so let's keep going. All right, here's 5. I guess it's breaking them down by first set are what is the first 4 up above that? So these are scientific and research. It's not ranking them. And we didn't ask we didn't ask it to rank them. We just said give us 20. So this
Yeah.
is cool. It's actually telling us that this first group, scroll back up more, Mark. I don't remember now what the first group of 4 were. They are policy and governments. Okay, that's what they all are here. So now let's go down. The next one is science and research findings. So what did we find yesterday? Record breaking. Oh yeah, that is something. They've that showed that February was the 3rd warmest February on record. Whoa, this microplastics is a big thing here, everybody. This is horrible. Another report, Washington Post, discussing studies of microplastics in the human body. They're finding so much of it in human bodies, everybody. It's just awful. This is a cool one, number 7, the world's biggest iceberg. World's largest iceberg. It doesn't even have a name. It's got a number. A23A ran aground after a long journey from Antarctica. Where did it run aground at? Probably in, wow, I don't know where. Wonder where it would have gone aground. Huh. We'll look that one up. That sounds like a cool one. The next one is local and environmental events. Beavers. All right. So Guardian released the beavers into different rivers in England. The next is floods. There's Indonesia. It's kind of near you, Mark. So
Yeah.
you heard about those? That there were big floods yesterday?
Oh no. But it happens all the time in Indonesia because it's an island in the
Right.
middle of, yeah.
And then look at what it did here. Given the difficulty in finding exactly 20, the following were inferred as likely because it's trying to get us up to 20. I think that's kind of cool. And so a lot of times it'll just give you the list and give you 20 and it wouldn't even explain anything. Global South Thriving Climate Agenda. I don't know what that is. Again, plastic pollution and treaties. Wildfires. Yeah, and there are some going on, but that's just more generally, it's something it's talking about. Yeah, Greenland's climate and Trump's vows to acquire it. Yeah, right. It's owned, by the way, now by Iceland, I believe, everybody. I think that's the case.
Mm.
People Daily noted that Ash Wednesday calls for stewardship. National holidays. It says what were today's on the 5th, I mean, yesterday's.
Yeah.
Okay, and now the last one is general environmental news. So and then it just describes, so now it's giving us a table. That's interesting. Look at that. That's not something that ChatGPT would do. Because I bet you could
Right.
put that table right into a spreadsheet. It usually
Mhm.
allows you to do that. And it's all those things we talked about up above. So it's just putting them into a table now and just allowing us to look at them. Pretty cool. All right, and then it does a conclusion. It was challenging to find the 20 exactly, which that's great that it's telling you that. Anybody in the audience, think of a cool question we can ask Grok. Oh, do we have more, Mark? Are you still going down, or is that the end and you just went back up? Oh yeah, you
No, I
just
went back up.
yeah.
And
Look at all the citations. Look at the citations, everybody. It's got for all of
yeah,
them. That is so cool.
yeah, these are clickable.
Yeah. See if anybody put anything in the chat, Mark, that we could look at.
Yeah, I'll look at the chat. So here is, let's see.
Anybody wants to raise their hand and talk with us, you can certainly be willing to do that. Since he was on last, I'm going to just call out somebody that's on here. Is Doug Ness. I
Oh yeah,
wanted to thank Doug and Marge, his beautiful wife, and his daughter Tabitha were there, and we went to dinner at their house the other night. It's really nice. And first time we'd been there, it was dark. This time it was light, so we were able to see a lot of things at his place. Got a very cool place.
is he in
Oh, you know, we
Alaska?
just don't have Levi's note taker. We have Yashambals also.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Why mine's not?
No, mine doesn't show up either. I think it has to do with calendar. It follows your calendar. So for some reason,
So Doug is actually on, Mark,
yeah.
and he just came back from Alaska, or maybe he's in Alaska because he was going to
Okay.
head. Hey man, what's up?
Hi, Wayne. Yeah, I got back day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And up there for a couple weeks and yeah, no snow and I had to pull a boat about 100 yards across the ice in a bay to get into the water, but then I broke in and could use the our main boat in the lake. And it was mostly 35 to 40 degrees all last week. So they're having quite a warm spell there. Wasn't that much earlier, it was 10 below zero, but now it got quite a warming spell.
Any
No.
negative surprises up there?
No, actually everything was pretty calm. The bears didn't get into anything. And and it's yeah, nice and beautiful up there. Caught some burbot, had some poor man's lobster, and but got some things done, getting ready for spring. Yeah, good to be up there.
Is that what you call burbot? Is poor man's lobster? That's kind of
Yeah, that's what they call it in Alaska.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
it's a freshwater cod.
right. That's what I thought it was. How big will they get?
Well, they'll get 5 and 10 pounds. Most of the ones we get there are going to be 2 pounds, 1 to 2 pounds. Smaller ones, good meal.
Just typical simple fillet and end up with no bones? Is that right? Or
Yeah, you can fillet them. You sometimes you got to work through Actually, it's. I like to leave the bones in, and then once they're really done well, then you just grab the backbone, and it'll pull most of the bones right out.
no, okay.
Yeah.
So are they what would be the negative consequences of being a very dry, warm winter or positive consequences? What are the
Well, in that culture out there is very dependent in the wintertime because of with the ice and snow, they're dependent upon travel because there's no roads out there. And so you either fly or take a boat in the summer, and then in the wintertime, you can go almost any place because of the snow and freezing lakes. Well, this year that was not happening, so people were having challenges getting their wood and have to uh, just boy, we got stuff blowing down here. We got a big wind
yeah,
here in
it's
Napa.
windy here too. Yeah.
But some things are blowing over. But so that's been a challenge for a lot of the communities out there, the native communities too, being able to get out and get around trap lines. They couldn't really do trap lines very well, which is normally their subsistence. And just because of the lack of snow, there's absolutely no snow. And pretty much, I think there's only a week or two out of the whole winter they were able to use much of any snow machines out there. And so it's so that'll have an impact. We'll see what the moisture does. We have a lot of moisture up high, a big snowpack up high. And you know, you just it varies so much that weather there, it could be dry. It's been relatively we've had rain and things like that, but no buildup of snow down there. But it can change, and it does. Sometimes it'll start raining the 1st of June, and it'll rain, for 2 months straight almost too. So that we'll see what happens. But up high there's snow, but down low there isn't. And so that as far as the animals, I think they had a much better winter. Most of the animals could feed better. The lake never did freeze up, so they're still picking up salmon here and there, and that's a big thing for the condition of the animals coming through the winter because it gets pretty scarce skinny up there in the late winter this time of the year if it would be a normal year. So I think they'll do well this year.
To me, it's very interesting about even what you just described. So we are, 20 days, a little less, 14 days from spring, right? March 20th or 21st, something like that, it'll be spring. And it is late winter. So Doug described that accurately. What do you remember the typical winter, Doug, and spring in Minnesota, South Dakota, when we lived there? Well, you were there even
Yeah,
20 years before that.
usually,
You didn't see the ground until May,
yeah,
is what I
yeah,
remember. You tell me
you had
different.
big storms. Yeah, March during March, you get a lot of big snowstorms, really bad storms, and very seldom did the snow go away. Pretty unusual before the first week or so of April, and you'd still have some snow the second week of April. Yeah,
And I watch news from Sioux Falls every once in a while, Doug, just interested in it. And they've had 60-degree days, multiples
yeah,
of last couple of weeks. So
yeah, very unusual there. I watch the Weather Channel, so on the Weather Channels you get a chance to see the cams, the weather cams, so you can see the fields and the roads, and you can see that they don't have snow. And I watch that in Alaska almost every day. But
on Weather
yeah,
Channel,
it's
do you pick them out, which ones you want to be looking at? Is that a chance? Can you do that or?
you go on different. I use Windy a lot. That's the most accurate I've found for me up there in Alaska, outside of the avionics websites. But Windy, WINDY, and then you punch in your town, and that there'll be 1 to 10 cams that'll come up, and you can choose which one you look at. It gives the address. So like Sioux Falls, I bet there are 20, 30 of them you could look at in Sioux Falls. In Dawson,
And
Minnesota.
yeah, Dawson. How many in Dawson? Dawson's not
Yeah,
very
in,
big.
in Madison there, I think there was 6 different views across 10, 12 miles,
Huh.
different major intersections. So it's kind of handy. And up in Alaska, up there in Port Ellsworth, there's just a couple, but it really gives you an idea what's going on. Yeah.
Is there an app, windy.com for
Yeah, you just search it and it'll come up as a weather app. There's a free version, and if you want the real detailed one, it's like, it's not very expensive. It's 20 or $30 a year, something like that. And then you get
Mark, can you pull it up? Pull up windy.com.
Okay. Give me a second.
Well, so that's pretty cool, Doug. That I use WeatherBug and or a couple of others, but that one, none of them have any views really that you get. So this you can see visually. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we use it because wind is so critical for us up there with that big lake. And
So
okay.
now you're seeing it where Mark lives.
Yeah, I should put
Put your place, put in DACA and see if it's
Okay.
accurate. You're there.
all right. Okay.
And see if there's pictures like Doug said in your city also.
Right. It's not but this is Dhaka right here.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah. And these are actually centigrades.
Yeah.
So it's not, so you see 17. So it's not cold. It's it's really pleasant.
Mhm.
And yep, it's accurate.
See if you see some cameras like Doug's talking about. How would he get to the cameras? Keep scrolling down, Doug?
They'll should show up on the lower left side, or there's a camera. There's an icon on the lower right. Yeah.
Okay, what
See if
do I
that
do?
pulls up. And then
You probably have to put a location in, Mark. So like put DACA in so you'll see it.
Okay. Do I put it?
Did Marge head back to see her family yet, Doug, or is that?
no, she'll be doing that in a few weeks, going back to Minnesota for a couple weeks.
Okay, so it says you are not logged in. You can add a webcam without logging, but
Oh, so it must make you. I bet it's like Doug said. There's probably free, but don't worry
Yeah,
about.
but you got to sign up. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
think you can look on there. But it shows wind direction and it's, like I said, it's, for us up there, it's quite accurate. And,
Yeah.
well, at least for the next, you can get a general view, but it changes. But we can look at the next day and the next second day are really accurate. So we really helps us. Because
Yeah,
if we get big winds, you got 6 foot waves on the lake. You don't want to get stuck someplace out there.
Yeah. I didn't want to log in right now, but
yeah, that's fine. Well, at least we know windy.com. Very cool.
Yep.
Um,
You can go on Napa's too, and Napa will have quite a few weather cams here.
I bet, yeah.
Let me see. I can pull mine up here.
Insane. Then you could share your screen.
yeah, we'll let you share your screen.
Okay, here, if you you can search other ones here too. I don't know how you share my screen though.
Oh, down at the
Um,
bottom, there's a green arrow that faces up and says share. It's pretty obvious. Way at the bottom where it shows participants, video, other stuff.
Oh, on yours?
yeah, you I've added
No.
you as I probably add you as a panelist. So we do this first. Promote to
So these note takers, these otters, you notice, Mark, it's 3:42
right.
and one of them went away. For some reason, they go like 42 minutes. They don't ever go a full hour. And see, that
Yeah.
other one just went away now. Another one of the note takers went bye-bye. That's
Right.
it.
Okay, so Doug, you'll probably need to accept it when you get a notifications.
It'll probably come right on the screen that you're now accepted as a panelist, Doug. I could try
Yeah,
that too.
join as panelist, yeah.
Yep.
And then you'll be able to see that share button and then you can share your screen.
Right. Then you'll be able to do it and come on with your camera or screen.
Okay. And again, I don't know how to do a lot of those things, so
No, we're teaching you here.
turn the video on.
See the button bar at the bottom where it shows your
Yeah.
microphone, video. You don't
Yeah,
need to
and
turn
video.
video. You just
Start the
know
video.
there's going to be a share button. Well, and now
Okay.
you've got
Good.
Yeah.
videos on, but
Video's on. How do I share my screen?
down at the very bottom, you'll see where it says share.
There's a green arrow, green button with an arrow. So when you click on that,
Oh, there, I had to punch it up, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
there we go. There you can see that's what came up on Nampa. Does that show it for you guys there too?
Not yet. It'll come up if you make sure
It
you
takes a
click
few seconds.
on it. It takes some time. Sometimes now it's fog
you'll have to-
nets for
yeah,
mitigating water shortages. Alicia, I want to address that one. That's interesting. We'll do that in a second. We're not getting it yet, Doug. I don't know what's going on. We should get it.
Yeah, you should like select your screen, like whole screen when the window comes up, and then click share.
Oh,
So
punch on screen?
yeah,
No, it'll be on share, that green button, and then it'll
Yeah,
give you.
I got that. I can see it on your screen, but you guys can't see it.
No, I'm not seeing it.
right. Just like when this comes up, a window pops up, then select your screen.
There.
Oh.
There it
Now,
is.
now it is coming. Now we've got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now you got it, okay.
There's Nampa. Wow.
Yeah. So, and you can go search on most of these, you can search. They have other, they have a lot of new webcams you can put on there. And that just happens to be what's on there today showing.
Hmm.
That's looking at Boise, above Boise.
Yeah, that's cool. Huh.
But it shows you where you, oops, where you can, I might be getting us in the wrong place.
No, you're seeing it. We're still got Boise, and we have the wind direction, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I can get that's real important for us. The wind direction and the speed of that is one of the biggest things we watch, and how much, yeah.
Yeah.
And up there, not here, but it's a good site. It's very up to date, changes very, very rapidly. And you know, you can get a projected out 2 weeks, but you know, to get real accurate, it's within the next day or two, you get pretty accurate. We almost live by it. Mhm.
By the way, everybody, look at on that map, the area that's behind Doug there, the area that's blue, that's mountains. And everything that's green is valley areas. And that, notice how the wind changes. It's going
Yeah.
almost straight south where it's blue, and where it's green, it's coming north, it's coming southeast, excuse me. You see that, Doug? You may
Yeah,
not.
uh-huh.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, there's some low pressure systems coming through.
Right, right.
Yeah, this is
And
just
very
like,
quick, you're going to be out of here because we're supposed to have beautiful weather tomorrow
Yeah.
and Saturday. So it's really, they're going to be here and gone.
yeah, this is just like the Weather Channel, right? That's how it looks on TV.
Yeah, I think I'm sure a lot of these are drawing from the NASA or other national weather channels.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is a quite large one. They've been around for a long time, and you can adapt this to get a satellite version and waves, even clouds. Quite a deal. But that's those direction of the wind has been really the biggest asset for us. We need to know that where that's coming from up there in Alaska.
Look at Idaho Falls, Doug. It's going exactly from the north. It just, and it looks
Yeah.
like it's there. I mean, just coming straight down.
Yeah, uh-huh. And then if you then you can punch on, I don't know, a little bit different because I have it here. Let's see if I can try to get down. You can punch on it, it'll show you the daily. I don't know. I'm so used to having mine set up, I don't change anything.
By the way, you did something that's very cool, Doug. It's behind you on the view, which means I've never been able to get it to do that, Mark, Doug's image is in front of it, which is very cool. For
Yeah.
presentation purposes, we should teach
Right.
speakers how to be
Okay,
able to do.
that was on your let me see if I can get your screen because I can't see yours now. And
Well, no, you wouldn't see mine because I have to share mine. You can only one person can be sharing at a time. But
okay,
it's almost like you're, on a TV network or something.
right.
Out of the weather front of
It
the
was in a column there where it showed you could show the whole screen or you in the screen or yeah, just you or just the screen or you and the screen or
Right.
you and someone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was searching the to get into it.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, everybody, we learn all the time. So I'm going to share a couple new environmental things that I learned about this week.
Sure.
Doug, it'd be interesting in your comments and thoughts about it. Thermovoltaic heating and cooling. Have you ever heard that term? Not solar voltaic, thermovoltaic. I've never heard the term. I'll tell you what it is in a minute, but I've never heard it.
We use fans to heat up there in Alaska on our stove, and they're run off of heat. The heat creates the positive, negative charges and runs fans. So that might be, if that's part of what you're referring to.
I haven't, and I have not researched this yet, but all of this comes, by the way, from a guy that we have interviewed on Eaton. We're going to have him on again, named Bob Mitchell. And Bob is up in Alberta, Canada, and his primary career was with the oil industry. He was a as he retired from ConocoPhillips as one of their executive vice presidents, I think running all of their Alberta operations. But anyway, Bob's now retired and he is doing what he calls, he's doing venture catalysm, not venture capitalism. He's a catalyst for ventures. So he's helping new companies. One of the new companies he's helping is a thermal voltaic company. And that company makes heating and air conditioning systems for office buildings and for homes where you use a combination of hot water and cold water to then create a system that can be temperature dependent, and it doesn't matter. You don't change from heating to cooling mode. One forced air system will just keep the right temperature by having control over the warm and cold water that's coming into it. And the reason I'm interested in it is that I got 118-degree water coming out of the hot springs, and I got at the warmest 50-degree water in the Salmon River. And in the winter, the water in the Salmon River is even colder. But I have a few minutes during the day where the sun just hits exactly in the wrong place, and we are in that few minutes right now. That's why it's all over my face there. And I'm too lazy to get up and go close the blinds right now. But I'm really interested again seeing it, Doug, because it supposedly could be a great way for us to heat and cool up at Riggins, because we don't have to heat. Most places you have to actually heat water of, let's say, 70 degrees to get it up higher, and then you add that hot water to the 70-degree water. Something between those two temperature differences, it creates this thermal voltaic. And I don't know any more about it than that. So it's
that's interesting. Yeah.
Here's another one. You will appreciate this one, because we did something together, and I've been telling people in business, not about you, but years ago, because of this device. And everybody knows the story that knows me, but I got a phone call back many years ago from a friend in Minnesota saying he wanted to fly out and show me a water treatment system. And he did that. And Doug and I met with him. Is that right, Doug? We were together, weren't we? Yep. And this water treatment system was made by a very well-known national company called Millipore. It was an excellent quality system. And bottom line, it was because of that system that I started to do a business. But anyway, bottom line is water treatment of home water, just water in general, has always been a big issue for me. There's a new company, Doug, that I was introduced to about after we had dinner together, so you wouldn't have heard of this yet, called Sign Labs. So Mark, I'll share my screen and I'll pull it up. So I'm going to pull up Sign Labs. I always got to make sure I get the right screen. I think it's this one. Yeah, this is the right one. It's on Zoom right now. So the company is Sign Labs, sign like a sine curve.net. I talked a little to the group about this, Doug, a couple of weeks ago, and while you were up in Alaska. And I am now advising this company. So I'm now an official advisor and have an opportunity to get some ownership in it. And so they've done a very nice job with their website. This is a picture of one of their systems. So notice a 110 plug, a little device that looks like a not surge protector, what is it when you convert DC to AC, what are those called? Power, why am I-
Yeah, converter.
Inverter, an inverter.
Inverter.
That looks like an
Inverter.
inverter to me. Obviously, it's not very big. This is what's used on commercial systems. Here's an example of what it can do, everybody. Here's a pipe before using it and where it's got slime and coating. Here's an after. Here's denser in a heating and cooling system before and after. Here's coils in a heater before and after. So pretty cool. It'll increase LEED scores. Anybody that knows about LEED, it's a system that's used to evaluate energy efficiency in buildings. And buildings get scored. And if they reach certain levels, they can be certified as either silver, gold, or platinum. And just by adding this to a system, you can get your score increased dramatically. There's a picture of the residential one here in a sec somewhere here. I got to get to it. Let's go back. I think I have to click at the top. Here, residential. Is the corner of my screen not showing, Mark? Because my
No,
Zoom
it's
screen is there. Do I have to
no,
move it?
it's
It's not.
fine.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
So Doug, here's in a minute, we're going to see a picture. Boy, the sun's now right in my eyes. I should go do something about it. This will kill virus and bacteria also, by the way. That's a picture of one for a home system. So that's the top of it. This is the bottom. It's run by 2 AA batteries, and it'll last about a year in between battery changes. There's going to be another picture here, I think, that shows there it is, just sort of blown up. So this is typically for what, a 1.5 inch or 1 inch pipe that would be, and it doesn't have to clamp. It's not a clamp, it just goes around the pipe. So you
On the outside.
wherever your water's coming into your house from city water or from a well. And it actually, I'm not going to click, but if I click shop now, I believe it's $400. And you can see it costs less, about $1 a year to operate. That's because of the batteries. That's all there is. They have a lot of testing yet to do, and that's one of the things I'm going to be helping them with. But so this is like 3 inches long, an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch wide, and just you just put it around your pipe in your input for your home. So it eliminates chlorine needs. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So lots more study we're going to be doing on this.
Where are they based out of?
Texas, Houston. The stuff's made in the US. And the principals are in both Texas and East Coast. And I don't think I ever introduced him to you, but a guy that I met in Colorado who's become a really close friend, I probably have mentioned him, but Scott Fardulis is who I met these guys from. Both amazing Christian guys, and the 2 founders. I'll show pictures of them here. Let's go to the company about Chris and Corey. I think it'll show. Oh, here's the team right there. So, and for some reason, I had this happen, and I was showing this the other day. When you're on their site, it keeps having this chat thing come up, and it keeps wanting you to talk to the chat. I'm not sure why. Here's Corey. I haven't met Daniel or the other, but got one of the coolest beards out there. I think Corey does. Anyway, something we're going to study, look at. And then one last cool thing. This last one came from this Bob Mitchell. He's working with a company, a Canadian company, that is making a unbelievably appropriately low cost, I'm going to call it a dome, but a cover for outside surfaces for about 35 cents a square foot of delivered cost. So an acre, which is 44,000 square feet, would be about $12,000. That will make it climate. It's essentially like a dome that you'd see in a soccer center or wherever, except a lot lower in price. Those domes typically cost somewhere in the $10 a square foot range, not 35 cents. So he brought it up to me because he said, you ought to use up there at your place at Riggins, because you could then, with the warm water that you have, you totally could turn it into a tropical paradise. And I thought about it a little bit, because on your looks like on your screen, Doug, you've got an indoor, we were seeing it in the background as you were showing your screen, of something where looks like it's in a place where they're growing plants inside, probably in a northern climate somewhere, maybe even up in Alaska. But I don't know if you know what is that's on your homepage. But anyway, this thing, here's what they're right now have on the docket. They're going to cover a golf course outside of outside of Calgary, with this structure. And all they're waiting for is planning approval. It's already funded. They're ready to install it. And it's not permanent. You put these things up, and supposedly in a very short period of time, you can take them down. Haven't seen anything on a web page or anything about it. I've just heard about it from Bob. So it is top of the hour, everybody. Any other questions you see, Mark, that we should get to or talk about? Boy,
Alicia had a question about fog nets.
Yeah, I saw that, and I even alluded to it. Great idea. I don't know how you do it or what it involves. So let's research that a little, and next week let's talk about it, Alicia.
All right, sounds good.
Anything else, anybody? Parting words, Mark?
Everybody come back next week. Be great.
Parting words, Doug? Parting thoughts?
Doug,
might-
you're muted, by the way.
might be
Might have to
muted.
unmute your microphone. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. No,
Parting thoughts.
we'll see. Yeah, I've seen some on the fog nets. They're kind of fascinating in the
Really?
right conditions. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we'll talk
Yeah.
about that next week.
Mhm.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you. Have a great one.
Yep.
Doug, we
Yep.
need to have you guys over for dinner. So talk with Marge about a date. Let's pick something once, either before or after, before you guys both head north.
Yeah, we'll need to do that. Yeah.